Hey, I'm the girl next door, and this is what I did last week. The majority of my time was spent working on pet battles, trying to collect all the pets that I'm missing from every zone. It took about as much time as I would expect it to. I just put something on the other monitor and then just tried to not pay attention to pet battles. I just started at the top of the map and then made my way down or to the side, and eventually I was either at the bottom or I'd made a circle and I had all the stuff that I needed. Fortunately, I didn't spend too much time trying to farm out any specific pet in general. I know there's some that are rare or that have a chance to spawn in place of a different pet, but for the most part, I didn't really run into that. I think the longest I spent looking for a pet was like 20 minutes, at least actively farming one, like going into pet battles, seeing if it's a secondary pet or just killing other pets in the area waiting for a better one to spawn. One thing I saw on Wowhead that actually ended up being a pretty good recommendation was turning on war mode, because for some reason I just kept finding the pets I needed very quickly through that. So I recommend, if you're farming for any specific pets, to try that. But at this point, I just have 2 more pets left in Kalimdor. One of them requires a sandstorm in Tenaris, which I don't know how often that happens, but hopefully I can get that eventually. The other pet, though, only spawns in the summer, so I can't get that achievement until, I think, June, so that sucks. And then the other achievement is just Shadowlands, which I haven't even started yet, so we'll probably work on that this week. When I was looking through the remaining pet achievements, like the battle stuff, I don't think it seems all that tedious. Like, I know there's a lot of achievements that are like kill the same pet tamers like 16 times each with 16 different pet families. So it will take time, but I just feel like going through each zone looking for specific pets, that just feels more tedious than going onto Wowhead, finding the team I need, and then just pressing buttons while I do something else. Once I finish the Safari achievements, I assume I'll have most, if not all, the pets I would need to complete all the battling achievements. So I'll probably focus on getting the dungeons done first and then go from there. Apart from that, the only thing I really spent much time on was the Love is in the Air event. I finished up getting all of the love tokens that I needed, and I was able to buy everything from the vendor that I wanted. That was definitely tedious. I don't know if they're going to add more stuff next year in the vendor, but if they do, I'll fortunately just have to focus on just getting the new stuff that gets added. I did run a couple dungeons, one on my Alliance Earthen Shaman, and then one on my Guardian Druid. I'd like to ideally do like 1 dungeon per day, or at least like 1 per week, just for the time walking quest for 500 badges. But I kind of would love to be able to finish the War Within with all 40 plus of my alts at level 80. They don't all have to be fully geared, just level 80 would be nice. But that is a lot of leveling, that is a lot of dungeons, and even though I don't mind dungeons all that much, that's still a lot. And then on Wednesday, again, I did my weekly stream where I did some mount runs, did some delves really quick, did some more dailies, and just hung out with all the people that came out to chat. I had a great time, and I'm looking forward to doing this week's stream, which will actually be on Thursday probably, because I won't be home on Wednesday, so Thursday I should have the time for that. Moving into the achievements of the week, I was able to get quite a bit, and I got 375 more points, and I'm ending the week at 43,735. The majority of my points came from the fact that I did all Dragonflight raids on Mythic. So there's 1 achievement for every boss, and then there's an overall achievement for completing the entire raid on Mythic. So that was a nice boost up closer to 44k, and I only have the Glory of the Raider achievements left in Dragonflight raid, which I'll hopefully get around to eventually. I think there were only maybe 2 or 3 bosses that kind of gave us a headache. There's the Brood Keeper, I think, in Vault of the Wardens, where I don't really know the mechanic, but we had to keep killing ads, and the boss was just immune to damage most of the time, or absorbing damage, so that took like 3 minutes to do. The second last boss in Aberrus, I think it's Neltharis. I think we wiped on that once because the mind controls didn't kill the ad or whatever we had to do, so we couldn't do the boss because he was also absorbing damage. We wiped once on Tindril because the boss did a whole bunch of raid-wide AoE when the feathers dropped. I don't really know what happened there. Someone just said a DPS faster, we did, and then it was fine. And then Farak was kind of annoying because we spent, I think, like 30 to 45 minutes wiping on this fight. But the reason we were wiping was because the group leader just for some reason did not want to invite more people. So after a few wipes, he ended up leaving because I guess he didn't know he could invite more people. And I bumped up the group size from 11 to 20, and surprise, surprise, we killed it in 1 shot. So if you want these achievements but can't find a group and want to just make your own, you can probably stumble your way through all of them just accidentally with a group. But there were some other achievements that I got, including the Love Language Expert achievement, which is the last one that I needed for Love is in the Air. After doing the fishing event in Hollowfall, I was able to get the 10 Algari Angler Thread achievement. And then I just got a handful of different pet battle achievements. So I got the Many More Mini Minions achievement, which is to collect 1,200 pets. Quality and Quantity, which is to catch 50 rare pets. And then I got the Safari achievements for Eastern Kingdoms, Northrend, Draenor, Nashatar, Mechagon, Broken Isles, and Battle for Azeroth. Moving into mounts for the week, I was able to get 3 more, starting with the Love Witch's Sweeper, which is the new Love is in the Air mount that they released this year. Pretty happy about that. I got that on one of my first kills of the week, so I have both dungeon mounts now. So I quite literally am all done with Love is in the Air unless they add something new next year, so pretty excited. I feel like this mount has a higher % chance to drop because I see a lot more people getting it. In addition to that, I got the Silver Moon Sweeper from the trading post, which is kind of annoying because it's the same model pretty much as the Love Witch's Sweeper before. So that felt like a waste, but +1, I guess. And then again off the trading post, I was able to get the Fur End Ship Fox. But that's it for me. That's all the stuff that I wanted to talk about. Let me know what you want to talk about. What are you doing in WoW? What are you doing in other games? What are you doing in real life? Have you watched, read, or listened to anything good? Let me know. I'd love to hear about it. I've got a video coming out on Friday that I'm really looking forward to. I've been working on it since last month, and I'm just very excited to post it. I think it turned out great, and I'm just really looking forward to seeing it live. If you like this video and you're into the whole call to action stuff, if you could just press the thumbs up button, that would be great for me. And if you're not yet subscribed, you should be, because it gets crazy in here. But until next week, thanks for watching. I love you lots. Be safe. I'll talk at you then.